with Katanga, Laura Crouch, Balatinu, Andre Tima, DSP Chikari, the European champion, the 21-year-old Emily Conter, Balento CS, winner on week 5, Philip Weishaus, and Kobe Yates, and Captain Brian Canan, and Armic to round it off. Jimmy Serrano alongside me and all our guests throughout the night. Thank you very much to all of them. Hopefully for all of you at home as well, it's brought you a little bit of extra insight on what's been going on here too, and how they've been riding it, the course, all that sort of stuff. And the John Deere tractors just making a finishing touch here. Jimmy, you had a little walk of the course for the jump off a little bit earlier on. What are some of the technicals that you picked out of it? What are we talking numbers wise?
You know, there's a lot of places where it walks in 9. I would say the one place that was questionable when we were walking the course, the last line, I think the winner is going to do 8 strides. You've got a tight rollback on a big vertical. But again, these horses, the way they cover the ground on this footing, the footing is dynamite. As you said earlier, the weather we had wind, we had rain. But you see tonight we've got perfect footing, and I think these horses really eat up the ground. I think we're going to see the winner do 8 strides down the last line.
Okay, so will the winner come from our first to go, or will it come from in the middle, or will it come from the end? Only one way to find out, and that's to jump in under the lights here tonight. As I say, cooler night here. It's been quite warm recently here, and now things have cooled off, but it's time to heat it back up. And first one to put the heat on is McLean Ward and the Beechwood Stables Contagious. His Olympic ride for the world, number 12. Jimmy, we talked a little bit earlier on with McLean himself, as he says he likes to get in there, get a plan, get it done. He'll have a plan here. I have no doubt the pressure's really going to come from here.
Yeah, you know, obviously this was my pick for the jump off. So this is what I'm pulling for right here. But you know, the horse is jumping just brilliant. Though, as McLean said, he came out of the Olympic Games as a better horse, bigger, stronger. You know, a couple of years ago, you would have questioned, was he an Olympic horse? Performed very well there, and just, whoa, he really started out fast. He ended up doing 10 there. I thought maybe you'd see 9, but 10 is that was a fast track. Here we see the B and C elements of what was the original triple combination. I didn't count there, but I believe that was 9. And the 9 here again. This is tough because you really got to turn back on this.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we lost the camera angle, but now it's difficult. That was the part I said, you know, there's maybe an 8, but turning back on that second to last jump in the jump off is very difficult. This horse has a little bit of a right drift. I think it just made that distance come up a little bit long. Maybe we'll see a replay of it. Of course, early on, way up over the jumps. Very, here we see, yeah, almost, you know, it's hard to tell, almost like the horse saw something.
Yeah.
The distance didn't look like it showed up that long.
Well, unfortunately, it is not to be on the 4 there, 39.84 for the first out, McLean Ward and Contagious. So, Jimmy, the door's open.
The door is wide open because I thought he was very quick everywhere. And, you know, having the jump down, for sure, it left it open for everybody else. I think with this horse, Abdel maybe can't do the same strides that McLean did or that some of the others will do, but this is a very fast-moving horse.
It certainly is. Page de Rue for the Belgian rider Abdel Said, as we say. Winner of this Grand Prix this time last year. Different ride on that occasion with Bandit Savoie. So a great shot here. So as you say, the door is open. We've got Adrian Sternick coming up. We've got Kent Farrington coming up. Quick ones in there. Laura Kraut. Many more. But last year's winner could shape this. We saw Bertram Allen do that just a couple of weeks ago as he backed up as a winner last year and again this. As I say, different ride though this time. Jimmy, how's he going to play this?
You know, again, like McLean, he's got way too many coming behind him to just take it easy. I think he's got to put the heat on, he's got to put the pressure on and make them chase him. The nice thing about this horse, it's very careful and doesn't spend a lot of time in the air, so that obviously works to his advantage. We can't see that vertical from our angle, but I think it stayed up.
It's still there.
Horse spends very little time in the air.
Coming home on the clear. This will set the pace.
There's the 9. So he did 9 for sure. There's an 8 there.
Yeah.
That was quick. Put just enough pressure on. I didn't get to see what McLean's time was. And McLean obviously
39.84 from McLean. So that was 38.58 there from Abdel Said and Page de Rue.
Yeah, and McLean obviously had to really slow down. I think he did enough to really put the pressure on. They're going to have to chase him to get him, and in doing that, hopefully they'll make a mistake and have a rail. At least that's what he's thinking.
Katie Tynan now, and the Grant Road Partners of New York's Borrego R&B to see if we can slice a little bit more off that. 38.58 from Abdel Said and Page de Rue. As you say, I think there's some space in there yet. We will see. Katie training with Beat Manley, who actually goes after this as well, so I'd be interested to see how these two's plans play out here.
Yeah, that's tough, training a rider and then having to follow soon after. You know, the warm-up, that's very difficult, especially getting a jump out there. But at this point in her career, Katie's accomplished enough. She should be comfortable doing a lot of that warm-up on her own. She's obviously off the pace of Abdel. She's looking for a double clear, it looks like.
And again, at this point, it's difficult to see then how this is going to play out. As I say, the first few are thinking, oh, McLean will go there, put a really fast clear in, and we're going to have to chase it. Him having a fence down changes how everybody's tactics, I guess, work a little bit.
Yeah, and she did 8 to the last jump. That's what I thought the winner would do, 8.
Yeah.
Obviously, she was a little cautious throughout the course, and then got a nice distance to the second to last jump and decided to come home in 8. I think, as you said a minute ago, there's a lot of room in between there to be quick.
Be it Manley. What can he produce here for the Olympic medalists? The Grant Road Partners 2 of New York, of course, same owners, as I mentioned there, part of the same stable. Desari, and for them, finishing one in the Grand Prix here back in November, and really to sort of start using this horse again this season, really into these big classes.
I would say this isn't the fastest horse in the class, this mare. The one thing about her, she's got a massive stride. She covers a lot of ground and you don't notice it. So he's got to try to outstride them tonight, because she's just, you can see even in her canter, she's not as fast as some of these other horses. Yeah, he does 9, where that's what I walked. I walked 9. You saw McLean do 10. And he's really galloping across the ring here. Trusting her scope. Very tight back on that. Wow, that was quick. And did 8 there where McLean did. Oh, and just turning before she finishes. And he'll do 8 here for sure.
Going to come home on the 4, and time of 41.02 there for Beat Manley and Desari. Jimmy, as you say, just on the turn.
Yeah, you can see him. He was thinking left and maybe almost got a little stiff in the bridle. He was thinking left, and she didn't quite follow him and just didn't finish with the hind end.
Now one with a great opportunity here, Adrian Sterling's, and of course Benny's Legacy for the Starlight Farms. These pair have got the pace.
This is a fast horse. Brian was sitting in the box with us earlier, said horse and rider, fierce competitors, very, very fast. You know, but every once in a while you see where you get a repeat winner, and so far Abdel winning, doing just enough. It would be kind of cool to watch Abdel do that again, as we saw Bertram Allen do it a couple weeks ago.
Adrian Sterling, Benny's Legacy, multiple World Cup wins behind them. Several wins already for her this season too.
Yep, there's the 9 again.
Oh,
yeah, just camera angle was maybe a little tough, but getting there a little bit deeper than she would have wanted, and on the angle, and I think the horse just got a little surprised by it. And again, going back to Abdel. Abdel did a lot. He put a lot of pressure on, and now the riders have to really chase him. And then what he's hoping for is everyone's going to make just a little mistake trying to be faster.
Just on the 4 then, Adrian Sterlitz and Benny's Legacy come out of the reckoning as well. As you say, it is those double clears at the moment. Katie Dynan, good strategy so far, getting the double clear. And Adrian going to be having some time faults there as well. 4 jumping 12 time, total of 16, 61, 88 for Adrian Sterlitz and Benny's Legacy. I was actually going to ask you about that, but getting across the ring there to that double, you know, not so easy, because you've just got to come across the ring and get, I might say blind, but you've got to put yourself in the spot, haven't you?
Yeah, and we actually have a good view of it from where we are. We have monitors here in our booth, but we have a perfect view of that double. And coming from across the ring, it almost, if you're trying to be very competitive, it almost does put you a little bit of an angle right to left at that double. And I think that it did with Adrian, and Benny just saw the way out there and just got a little bit confused.
Orofina and Kent Farrington, the horse by For Fashion. We talked about this a little bit earlier on for the world number 9. A little less experienced in terms of competing at this level, but I mean, his very capable hands. He will go as far as he wants to go here, won't he?
You know, I think being a big 5-star class, Kent's going to go for the win. This is a big ask for this horse to win this. But again, he's done such a tremendous job developing this mare. And if anybody can do it, Kent can. And that was perfectly done. Galloped over, squared up just enough. Maybe did one more to the vertical. Ooh, double clutch there in the auction, but got away with it. He can do 8 home. He can do 8.
38.58 to beat. Going to run close. Might be a fraction behind. 40.42 goes into second for Kent Farrington. Starts to put in perspective a little bit Abdul Saeed's speedy round.
Yeah, and again, you see this mare of Kent's spends time in the air. Abdel spends very little time in the air. And there was a couple places where Kent realized he couldn't quite call on her. And even there where she lands after the blue, he had to take one extra stride on the next jump. He felt her double clutch there, wanted to put her heart back into place and just give her a time, give her a moment to get everything back together.
Nicola Philipparts now, as I mentioned, this combination that were top 5 at the European Championships last year in Riesenbeck, the Belgian rider with Katanga van het Dingershoff, and so the mare by Cardenso. Again, there's still chance there, 38.58, and actually I say there's chance, but it's interesting because the fastest time McLean was what, 39.84 from him. He's the closest to what has been Abdel's time so far.
Yeah, I mean, we do still have some fast ones to come. Obviously, Laura Kraut, you know, with her horse knowing it very well, very, very quick. And, you know, it's still anybody's game. We've got a couple fast ones to go. But Abdel did, I think, just enough.
Nicola Philipparts, though, at the races. Gets the shot.
Knows this horse so well, knows exactly what to do, even though he adds the strides. He knows the horse like the back of his hand. Very tight here, has to add up. I think he can't do the 8.
And again, 38.58 times beat. He's not going to get there. It's really interesting now because Nicola Philipparts was going well there at 41.65, but still they can't touch Abdel at the moment. Jimmy?
No, and you know, every horse has its comfort zone, and I think just because you see somebody else do 8 strides or you see them do 9 somewhere doesn't mean you can do it with your horse. And Nicola knows this horse, and he knows he can't do 9 where maybe Kent could, or he can't do 8 down that last line. He had to do what's right for this horse and stay within its comfort zone.
Well, a pair that were comfortable at the Olympic Games last year, Laura Kraus and the St Bride's Farms Balutinu. The now 11-year-old Hanoverian by Balou de Roe. As I say, that Olympic success. They started last year here. First class, as I remember, last year in April. They won the Grand Prix. We went, okay, first time for this pairing. Let's see how they get on, and won the Grand Prix. This is where this season she can really push this horse, if you like, to start winning some of these individual honours.
And she will. This horse is going to win a lot of classes, and it's going to win a lot of money. And McLean was talking about rideability. And funny enough, I'm pretty sure Laura changed bits from the first round to the second round. Looks like she's in a different bit here. Got a little stuck there, but got away with it. Wow, put a little bend in the one. That was beautifully done. Had to add there last minute. Almost has too much rideability now.
Yeah. And again, that's where you start to put a bit of speed in and the road bump comes up for you, Jimmy.
Yeah, and the thing you realize, I think Laura knew or thought, you know, I had to add there, I had to add there, and you start to, you push to the next jump. You know, you added one stride too many there, I got to make it up somewhere else, I got to make it up somewhere else. And she was thinking, I've got to make it up to the blue oxer, and just has the front rail. But, you know, as you said, now they're looking at a lot of individual things, and she's going to win a lot of big classes, and you've got championship coming up, and obviously a combination to be looking at.
Well, Ballatinou and Laura Craig there going into 6th place at the moment. Top 3 at the moment, Abdul Saeed, Kent Farrington and Nicola Philipparts. 38.58 from Abdel, the European champion now, Andre Thieme of Germany, and DSP Chakaria, the German-bred mare by Chap 47. The European champion who's won many times on US soil. Would be your first time that he would add a WEF Grand Prix if he can add this one in there too.
Yeah, you can't now count him out. We sort of left Andre out of the mix. He's won so many big classes, and we sort of left him out. He does 10. But really putting on the heat here. Wow, never touched the reins of this double. Wow, that was fast. Come on, Andre. He's ahead by at least a second if he can leave these jumps up. Come on. Oh. Oh, that was too bad. He rode up to the jump and then almost opened up a little early and has the back rail. And you see him here slowing down and was very close.
Close on the time at 40.12, but a fence down on the way, as you say, just started to ease off there. Could have, looked as though they could have done the time, handled this double well. Oh, this fence is catching a few.
Yeah, you see him really open up there, and he just doesn't finish behind. Got a perfect angle, beautiful view at the replay. And then he ends up playing it safe to the last jump and does 9 to make sure he leaves that jump up.
Would be a very big moment for this lady. 21-year-old Emily Conter of Belgium, and Wellington CS for the Stefek stables. Team gold in young riders, individual bronze last year, and now stepping into these big 5-star classes. Abdul Saeed, Kent Farrington, Nicola Philippart still the leading 3 so far. Still at Philip Weishaupt left to come, and Brian Canan after this as well. Abdul Saeed is holding on. Last year's winner at the moment, still on there. I would bit more than a fingertip, I think, at the moment. But a really good performance from him. But Emily Conter, potentially to put them under pressure. Zoe Conter has already done that so far this season. She's had several top 3s. Now handing over to Sis this time.
Yeah, I think she's just excited that she jumped the clear round. Just to be in the jump off with the big boys is a huge deal. But I don't think that's going to be enough. She's still going to, she figures, I'm in the jump off, I'm going to go in and try to be competitive. Maybe a little wider here than some of the others. Yeah, got there a little bit too deep and just tags the front rail.
Again, good experience for her. Jazz going to have that fence as well. Well, surprisingly, some challenges falling away tonight that we thought would be hotter on the leading pack. Abdul Saeed staying ahead at the moment on the 8 there at 41.86 for Emily Conter of Belgium. But again, she can go away with it. It's a decent day at the office there, Jimmy.
Absolutely, because not only jumping the 5-star, but then she's got to learn to do this going fast. So you got to test the gears. You got to test yourself, go fast, see what you have. And this horse has a little bit of what we call maybe a dicey front end, not a classical style. Although very careful. She got to that oxer a little deeper, but I bet Abdel's starting to pace right about now.
Oh dear. There's a trench being formed down in the warm-up as he's going back and forth. And certainly we'll be watching this man, Philipp Weishaupt, winner of the Grand Prix on week 5. Mariko Keto and Nayoriko and the Birbam Stables, Kobe 8. Can they repeat that success here on week 9? He's certainly going to give it a go, Jimmy.
Yeah, and that's what's tough as for Abdel. When you know you've got you think this horse won a 5-star already. He can do it again. Ooh, a little rub there, gets away with it. He was maybe a touch slow there, but I thought that the week he won and he outslicked everybody. Put a little curve here. That was fast. He's on him. Wow, he's taking a risk here.
Get it. This is...
Oh!
Oh, that was going to be a winning move if he pulled it off. It was going to be 38.52. It was quicker than Abdul Said. Philipp Weishaupt finishes on the 4, puts him in 5th place. Oh, so close.
Yeah, you know, that's the risk and reward. You know, he really took a gamble here, which he sort of had to do. And I think when he turned, the horse turned so well for him, he actually got a little deeper than he would have liked, and the horse just clipped it with the hind end, but that was a well-ridden round. And you know, you watch that horse go, and he doesn't appear to be the fastest horse, but again, fastest time today. He won the 5-star a few weeks ago, so obviously a very fast horse.
Absolutely, certainly is. Leaves the last to go for Ireland, Captain Brian Cannan, Mr. and Mrs. Bob Stillers, and his own Armic as the last out by Armitage. And, well, Abdul Said keeps the lead, 38.58. Ken Farrington second, Nicola Philipparts in third. Last up, can Ireland claim it, or will it go to Belgium here tonight as part of our Douglas Elliman 5-star Grand Prix? It's been a chilly night, but it's certainly been warmed up by some top performances. And a reminder of what's coming up over the next few weeks. Going to be week 11 with, of course, the Captive 1 Series coming into play there. And then week 12, the Rolex Grand Prix. Look out for that. It's going to be on the Saturday and as a daytime class, that $500,000 class. So make sure you join us for that on week 12. He is out of it. I was going to say off and running.
Yeah, and he ends up doing the 9, and this is a very careful horse, but has the front rail. So Abdel is breathing a sigh of relief with what? Maybe
he's done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a double win, as we said. Bertram Allen reclaiming the Grand Prix just a few weeks ago. We've got another repeat with Abdul Said this time. Different horse for him on this occasion, though. And getting home is Captain Brian Cannan and Armic, not too far away, but just going to be on the 4 faults as well as they clear the last. Lands at 43.40. They will go into 10th place overall. It's a win for Abdul Said, a Page de Roux for the Belgian rider. Jimmy, a little look here in the double with Brian.
Yeah, you know, for the most part, all the horses jumped that double well. They almost put a little bit of a curve in the 1 stride. And this is a very, very careful horse. Really, you see him at the second to last jump. He hooks back on that and way up over that vertical.
Well played out with the win for Abdul Said. We'll take a look at that final order as well there. And it is going to be our winning combination.